Josh! I have no idea what the hell happened. No idea.
I don't either.
Stream crashed. I didn't touch anything. Also,
It's your life. There you go.
lol. Yeah. Okay. We already read the affidavit from our Reese. Why was that copied again? Still the same anyway. Okay. That's probably best to cover it. Exhibit F. Plenty of objects to paragraphs 3 to 15 and 17. There's a violation of 701. Apparently more of opinions. And objects to 8 and 11 because of hearsay. 801 to 802. I have no idea either. Exhibit J. Adam Sheehan. Rudis, again. Such evidence is admissible. 404. Scientific objects to paragraph 4, 7, 8, 10, and 11 because they contain an admissible opinion testimony in violation of 701 because they contain substantial opinions of a literal subjective determinations of the facts that they cannot be readily converted to by opposing parties. Plenty of objects to 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10 because they contain hearsay. Hearsay is admissible by 802 and equals 801. Plaintiff also objects to paragraph 5 because the affiant is making legal conclusions on questions of Greater Houston Transportation Incorporated vs. Phillips, the existing of duty imposed by the relationship between employee and employee, or the independent contractor and contractee is a question of law. Boyd versus Texas Christian University Incorporated. Whether the duty exists at the threshold is a question of law. Affiant cannot combine on these questions of law. Rule 701. Corpus Christi 1991 were denied. An expert cannot be permitted to give an opinion or a state of legal conclusion regarding the question of law. Affidavit K. We lost this. Oh. I wallow in it. Again, I have no idea what happened. Temperature and rudeness. Such evidence is admissible by 404. Plenty of objects to paragraphs 3 through to 5 because they contain admissible opinion, testimony in violation of 701 because they contain substantial opinions of unnatural subjective determinations of facts. Statements that cannot be readily converted by the opposing parties. Plenty of objects to 3 to 7 because they contain hearsay. 801 through to 802. Going fine. Going fine. Subject L. Michelle Specht. Plenty of objects to subject L because it's not relevant or material to any issue in this case. Technically, yeah, it's not. 401. Evidence is not relevant and admissible. 402. Plaintiff objects to Exhibit B because it contains evidence of plaintiff's character traits, and that has been offered to prove that on a particular occasion that the person acted in accordance of the character trait. Such evidence is admissible. 404. Exhibit M. Prager. It's been offered to prove that on a particular occasion that the person acted in accordance with the character trait. Such evidence is admissible. 404. That objects to 3, 5, and 9 because they contain admissible opposition opinion testimony in violation of 701 because they contain substantial and natural subjective determinations of the facts and statements that cannot be readily converted by opposed parties. Plaintiff objects to 3, 4, and 7 because they contain hearsay by 801 and 802. What hard things do. Exhibits attached to depositions on Montreal. Plaintiff objects to the exhibits attached in Exhibit N of the Real and Toya motion. These exhibits are hearsay as they are out-of-court statements to prove that the truth of the matter asserted. 801, hearsay is visible. 802. Exhibit attached to depositions of Ronald Toya. Plaintiff objects to attach to Exhibit O of the Ronald Toya motion. These exhibits hearsay and out of statements offered to prove the truth of the matter asserted. 801 or 802. Affidavit from Jason Lamoy. Hey! Have you guys found any consulates? Any consulates lately? God, that fucking hurts my throat. Plaintiff objects to exhibits attached to Exhibit P of the Royal and Toya motion. These exhibits are hearsay and are out of court statements to prove the matter asserted. 801, hearsay is admissible. 802. Plaintiff objects to Exhibit P because it's not relevant or material to any issue of the case. 401. Because this is not relevant and admissible. 402. Q. Timeline. Oh, this one's fun. Plaintiff objects to Q because it contains admissible opinion testimony violation 701 that contains substantiated opinions on electoral subjective determinations of facts and statements that cannot be readily converted by opposing parties. Plaintiff objects to Q because it contains hearsay, article statements 801, 802. This will be one of my friends called What If Universe.
What's up?
Oh, some people were wondering who you are in chat.
That's fine. I'm one of those people that just happens to talk with everybody.
Really? Really, Jinxie? I will happily de-sword you. I will take the sword back.
How dare you not know who I am?
I'll kill them with cookies and goals. Fucking hell. Oh, I can.
I mean, we're not like that. No. We're not even in the same room.
I gave you Critter. No, you just told me about Critter. I bought it with my own money. No, thank you. Do you really want to fight a first Dan? Do you really want to fight a first degree? Who's currently on the journey to a second?
This sounds like foreplay in Twitch chat. That's what it sounds like. As far as I'm reading it.
See? This is why I have a yeah. This is why I have a guy friend to give it to me. But now if I haven't replied to him yet. Fuck's sake, Chris. Affidavit and Monogram. Plaintiff objects to Exhibit R because it contains admissible opinion testimony in violation of 701. Because it contains substantiated opinions and unilateral subjective determinations that facts and statements that cannot be readily converted by opposing parties. Plaintiff objects to Exhibit R because it contains hearsay. 801, hearsay is admissible. 802. I'm adopting you as my sister. I'm everyone's sister. Meh. I just can't be asked. Oh, this is the entire motion to strike! It's as fucking long as it! And I'm talking about the fucking book. Right Right now, I've just read 35 pages. I'm now reading 13. I would do it if I was bribed with another sword. I can't technically give you another sword, sweetheart.
You can only have one sword. Why do you need more?
Alright, Exhibit S. Plaintiff objects to Exhibit S because it contains hearsay. 801 and hearsay is admissible. 802. I hope you don't fall asleep. It's Saturday. Get a shop and go Snoopy. Don't do that.
Universe is a YouTube channel. That is correct.
Plaintiff objects to Exhibit T because it contains evidence of plaintiff's character traits that has been offered to prove that particular location and act in accordance with the character or trait. Such evidence is admissible. 404. Plaintiff objects to 4, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18 because it contains admissible opinion in violation of 701 because it contains substantiated opinions and unnatural subjective determinations of facts and statements that cannot be readily converted by opposing parties. Plaintiff objects to 9 and 10 because they contain hearsay. 801, hearsay is admissible. 802. Too hot. So that means you expect me to do 550, 594. Do you think I can get through 594 pages?
Probably in multiple streams.
So, probably. Well, Nick covers it all in like 3 hours. Because again, this is a massive fucking document. Plaintiff objects to Exhibit U because it contains the plaintiff's character or trait that has been offered to prove that in a particular occasion the person acted in accordance with the character or trait. Such evidence is admissible. 404. Plaintiff objects to 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, 4, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 16, and 17, 18. Because it contains admissible opinion, testimony in violation of 701. Because it contains substantiated opinions or an unnatural subjective determination of the fact of statements that cannot be readily converted by opposing parties. Plaintiff objects to 9 and 10 because they contain hearsay. 801, hearsay is admissible. 802. Plaintiff objects to paragraph Exhibit D because the applicant is making legal conclusion regarding the question of law. I believe we've read before, which is, of course, Karen Edwards. No, not Karen Edwards, Karen Meeker. Objections to Funimation supplemental evidence. Plaintiff objects to Exhibit 1 for the same reasons as the applicant's previous affidavit. Plaintiff's objections in the motion strike evidence offered in support of the defendant. Funimation's motion to dismiss incorporated in by reference. 2, same reasons again. And that's the end of that one.
Someone adapted this into a manga?
Yeah, someone did. It's being adapted to a manga.
That'd be funny.
It's happening right now, actually.
Just have Phoenix Wright as an attorney.
Kind of. Yeah. Okay. Right, now we've got the affidavit of Chuck Huber. Did it say it's just moan? Well, not the kind of moan that anyone wants. I only give that to one person and one person only. Okay. On this day, Chuck, who be personally known to me by affiant herein, appeared before me and thus sworn according to law on his oath, deposed, and said as follows. My name is Chuck Huber. I reside in... I've just doxed Chuck Huber, haven't I? Sorry, Chuck! I didn't mean to! Oh. Oh. Bollocks. Shit. Oh. Can't believe I did that. Oh. No. I'll do the next lot. Okay. I am over the age of 18 years and competent to make this affidavit. I have personal knowledge of the facts that stated in this affidavit, and the facts are true and correct. The facts in this affidavit cannot be construed to condone Vic Vignar's behavior, especially as it relates to his infidelity towards Mr. Speck, which is personally heartbreaking and horrible. Which is technically true. I have been an anime voice actor or VA since 1998 and have performed over 200 roles. I have attended over 150 anime conventions. I have been a voice actor over for Funimation since 1988 and am intimately familiar with the work environment at Funimation. I am friends with some of the employees of Funimation that had a direct communication with the former CEO Jin Fukunaga, Karen Mika, Justin Cook, and Colin Klinkebid, though my years of employment of Funimation. I have been a voice actor of Orgatron 5000, a company owned by Chris Sabat since 2004, and have been an employee of Deep Space Mustache, a company founded by Chris Sabat during 2012 through to 2013. I wonder why that fell for the cracks, huh? I wonder why. I have been friends with plaintiff Victor Mignana, Vic, for at least 10 years. I have been friends with the defendants of Jimmy Markey and Monica Rial for at least 10 years. I know Ronald Teo from his broad relationship with Monica Rial. Can't check now, Jinxie. Jesus. Right now, I'm currently going through a document. The first time I heard Vic's name was in the convention in 2003 or 2004 with Chris Sabat. This occurred while I was recording for Funimation property at Orgatron 5000. In that conversation, Sabat verbally disparaged Vic's Christian faith and speculated that Vic was actually gay based on the way he dressed. So fucking what? Have you seen this fucking pants that he wore at Anime and Matsuri? I fucking want that shit. Want to pay myself. In that conversation, Chris Sabat stated that Vic was a paedophile who liked little girls. Oh, so it was Sabat that started this shit, huh? Sabat started this 16 fucking years ago. What a prick.
Very interesting, actually.
Sabat's got a lot of explaining to do. Despite these statements, he did not express concerns about the risk to fans, which I thought was odd. I agree also. Wouldn't everyone else? Hang on. Let me get the red up. let me highlight this entire thing. Chris Sabat verbally disparaged Vic's Christian faith. This one here. And this one here. We can only rewind 5 minutes, not 16 fucking years.
Just do 5 minutes every 5 minutes and then eventually get to it.
I wonder how many I wonder how many resets that will take. And also, we need to find out which convention. This is in 2003 and /2004. I think I may have a document. Give me a second. I have a specific document that I made of a friend of mine. There we go. Alright, this is known as the Weebles timeline. This is where me and a friend of mine keep track of everything. We keep track of every single convention. Right, we can definitely say that it was definitely not in 2003. Let's go to 2004. Not 2004 either. 2005. It would have been 2005. No, not 6 years. 16 years. It's actually been 14. Did math. During this conversation, there was no specific mention of Vic committing sexual harassment, sexual assault, inappropriate behavior with teenage fans, or that Vic posed risk to fans at conventions. Jinxie, do you have a lot of time in your hands? Because it feels like you've got a lot of time in your hands. In approximately 2007, Vic began to practice the autographing artwork depicting anime characters for money at anime conventions. Good. Other voice actors, Jamie Markey, Monica Rial, and Chris Sabat, and other Funimation employees initially described that practice as stealing from fans, using fans, and being an asshole, while later adopted the same practices that follow those practices at conventions. Isn't that a bit hypocritical? What if?
A bit. I'm going through some private issues right now.
Okay. There we go. I've literally just typed in wrote in the words hypocrites. This behavior by voice actors including Jamie Markey, Monica Rial, Chris Sabat, and other Funimation employees towards Vic's successful business practice demonstrates long-standing negativity in support of Vic. Again. In virtually all conversations I had with these voice actors, when Vic was not present, disparaging remarks they were made about Vic. Typical statements included he was a prima donna, a douche, he's a diva, his clothes are gay. Plus comments of his purported infidelity, dislike of his conservative Christian belief, and personal attacks of his support of Donald Trump. All of these comments were made at one time or another by Monica Rial, Jimmy Markey, Chris Sabat, and others. All of them whoever conceded his ability to do his job. That one's interesting. Not much, apparently that he's a prima donna, he's a douche, he's a diva, his clothes are gay. That's not it. But it's this entire paragraph right here. There we go. Okay. In December of 2013 at YamaCon, I had lunch with Sean Semmel and Sonny Strait. Sean Semmel had tried to persuade me to participate in a derogatory video about Vic known as Vince Manana, which is known as Kip Manana. Or Manjana. The video was to portray Vic as a pedophile. I refused because Vic is my friend and he is not a pedophile. Good on you. Most of the time when I interacted with Sean Semmel, he attacked Vic but for pushing his Christian faith on fans at conventions and for Vic's purported sexual proximity. Deadpool, Optimus, if you're still in chat, probably not.
Let's see, I'm gonna go and solve this matter I have to deal with, but it was nice talking with Bit.
Yeah, that's fine. Go. Yeah, go.
This thing that's so long.
Yeah.
I just fell asleep once, which is funny.
Yeah, right now, well, I think we're on to a main juicy part bit here at the moment, but it should be fine.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Alright, this should attract some eyes stand with bit people on Flash server. I know. In 2016, I was at Funimation and witnessed the producer of Funimation warn other Funimation's employees of Vic's arrival and addressed Vic negatively to the directors of Funimation. This sounds like conspiracy. Right here. Approximately 2006 to 2017, a director employed at Funimation told me Vic would never get a directing job at Funimation because he's such a douche. That's a bit of an asinine statement there. I have This conversation happened at Funimation. I advised Vic of this conversation. He later told me he addressed the issue with Justin Cook, a member of Funimation management. Yotel. In my opinion, the voice actors and Funimation employees described above were overly occupied with disparaging Vic. Uh-oh! Oh. Over the last decade, I was around Vic, defendants, and other Funimation employees hundreds of times until January 2019. None of them accused him of sexual assault or sexual harassment in my presence. I wonder why. Until January 2015, no discussions about Vic Mignogna in my presence were accompanied by laughter and assertion but never included concern for any alleged victims or named specific victims. Vic has always been a joke to a certain clique of influential Funimation employees for decades, but never a threat. Well, we can definitely say that now. This is building up to the conspiracy. Vic indicated to me that in 20 years of work in Funimation, he had never been warned of any complaints about his behavior. Vic told me he had a meeting with a producer of Funimation in approximately 2008, specifically to discuss any issues with his behavior. He stated there was no mention in this meeting of having committed sexual harassment, sexual assault, or having behaved in an appropriate manner. At Funimation or any conversation, he stated that she told him that he was difficult to work with. Would that be Karen? Cause that sounded like Karen. Because he sometimes asked the director to do additional takes when the director was satisfied with his initial take. Who the fuck cares? Senior Funimation directors have described the work environment at Funimation to me as a den of poison, Kefka nightmare, or an Orwellian slave factory. I'm liking these words. What's even more funny, I'm meeting Chuckyba in 3 weeks. I hope Chucky, like, someone on the Twitch side, clip this for me. Chuck, reading your affidavit. Please come to Circon. You have my fucking support, mate. I will buy you fucking lunch for the whole entire weekend. You'll be in my hands. My experience working at Funimation was unpleasant. Oh, hello. Are you gonna expose some stuff there, Chuck? Ugh. It is well known if one falls out of favor with certain people, including Chris Sabat, or one tries to do anything to change the working conditions, that a person cannot be rehired as a voice actor. I felt threatened with not being used as a voice actor in subsequent projects as if I complained about the work environment. Bit of favoritism there, don't you think? Not with this! With this affidavit? It's exposing Funimation wide open. Oh. Oh. Alright. Let's continue this. Funimation posted no employment policies regarding sexual harassment in the workplace or at conventions. Oh! Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! Do I hear double standard? I think I hear double standard. Get woke, go broke. Yeah, an entire corporation, for the den of snakes that they are. Funimation did not provide an employee handbook to me, Vic, Jamie Markey, or Monica Rial. Ooh. In the 20 years I worked at Funimation, it was very common for employees, voice actors, writers, producers, directors to hug and kiss each other at Funimation offices. Raunchy and sexual comedy was extremely common. Sexual relationships between Funimation employees and voice actors was also common. No one was ever disciplined or terminated for this conduct. Yeah, I think you're gonna need ointment for this fucking burn. Because this is a fucking flamethrower of an affidavit. Blitz! When Sony acquired a majority of the interest of Funimation in late 2017, a no hogs policy was announced. Really? Okay, so that might have been recent. Funimation's employees and voice actors lately ignored this policy at first. Ooh, they weren't following the rules. Till recently. Voice actors including Jamie Markey, and Monica Rial, and other Funimation employees talked and flirted freely at Funimation on a regular basis. Though this did become less common after Sony initiated the no hugs policy. I find that policy to be stupid. When Dragon Ball Kai was being recorded in 2007, I heard rumors that actress had been recast at Funimation for refusing sexual advances by Funimation employees. Could that be Stephanie Nolandi? I think that might be Stephanie Nolandi, the original Gohan. Hence why she was replaced with Colin Klinkenbeard. Oh! I think this may be Gohan! Steph, we know now. It's you. It's you, sweetheart. Because they're getting woke and they're gonna fucking die. Oh, this has to be Stephanie. Has to be Steph. Oh, this has to be Steph. I'll put OG go on. Sash Kid Goku. Oh my fucking god, I can't believe it. That's probably the most easiest click that I've had thus far. I also heard that actresses who participate in oh my god. Really? Sexual favors for a role. So, Monica, I think you've been actively cheating on Ron, haven't you? No wonder Ron's such a fucking beta, isn't he? Yeah, because he probably watches you get fucked by Chris Sabat. Am I right? I consider these rumors incredibly based on my experience with working in Funimation. I'm not trying to debunk this shit. And direct messages! Oh, come on, this has to be Stephanie Nalandi. Has to be! Ah! You just post. Never mind. Like, apparently. Okay, right. When the trailer for Dragon Ball Super Broly was released, Vic did not voice the character for Broly, even though Vic was the only voice actor who ever voiced Broly up to that point. Who? See, this is why I said apparently that Broly sounded different in the first trailer. During this time frame, I sent a text message to Chris Sabat, who responded that if anything has to do with Vic, I will not talk about it. I wonder why. I wonder why. Chris Sabat is the owner of Octron 5000 and is a voice actor for Funimation. We already know that. Chris Sabat did most of the casting and recording for Dragon Ball Z and the properties including the movie Dragon Ball Super Broly. Chris Sabat engaged in negotiations, and either directly or through Funimation various projects with Toei, owner of the Dragon Ball Z properties. The voice actors employed by Funimation generally consider Chris Sabat as the de facto manager at Funimation, and they believe his approval and support vitally beneficial to succeeding at Funimation and the conventions they converse in regarding his disapproval. So, in other words, he's cockling them. He's getting filleted by them. He has Funimation by the fucking balls. Because he's fucking their staff. He's fucking your voice actors. What the fuck are you doing? You're making Funimation into a fucking whorehouse, Chris. I'm guessing your wife doesn't satisfy you enough. I bet those 2 kids are not even hers. Am I right? Chris Sabat has more implements of Funimation than other studios, including Rooster Teeth and Toei. Not anymore with Toei, but Rooster Teeth, yes. Than Vic has ever had in the anime industry. Well, not for long. I heard Chris Sabat and Sean Sam called Vic pedophile numerous times before the allegation against Vic in January and February 2019 arose. Interesting. I observed Chris Sabat on multiple occasions talk in derogatory manner about members of Funimation management and other people he calls friends. I'd like to know who. Yeah, but the thing is, it's in the handbook. There's a handbook, apparently, that can't happen. The thing is, this is the double standard, because they've accused Vic of sexual assault, and yet they're fucking each other. It's called double standards. They're being hypocrites. It's because apparently he's a conservative and supports Trump. I was aware of no rumors or accusations that Vic committed rape, sexual assault, or sexual harassment until the accusations arose in January 2019 on the internet. I was aware of no rumors or statements that identified and incorporated victims of sexual assault or sexual harassment by Vic until February 2019 on the internet. Now, this is the Funimation handbook, which Nick Ricada has also got a copy of. I need to also get a copy. Jamie Markey and I have been close friends and writing partners since 2009. She has never mentioned hair pulling incident and Funimation that she alleges occurred between Vic and her. Interesting. She only mentions it, and apparently it was in 2011. Interesting. I believe Jamie Markey would have mentioned the hair pulling incident if it had bothered her. She's typically very outspoken. In addition, while Jamie Markey and Monica Rial and other Funimation employees expressed animosity towards Vic, they never chimed that he had sexually harassed or sexually assaulted anyone. Interesting. Yeah, but this is Texas. Their anonymity was primarily due to his personality, his sexual proximity, his Christian faith, and his claims that he was difficult to work with. In 2009, Jamie Markey and I worked with Chris Sabat on con.com.com, which was a website where voice actors could provide content for fans. Vic was a digital guest on the website and our primary marketing force because he was prolific convention schedule. In a dozen specific conversations about Vic, there was never any concern about pedophilia or criminal or other criminal sexual behavior. I have never seen Vic behave inappropriately with any range of any age. Although voice actors and other Funimations called Vic a pedophile and accused him of liking underage girls for years, they never said these things to Vic and never expressed any concerns about working with Vic or doing panels or conventions with Vic until 2009, nor did they express concern for convention fans until 2009. Interesting. The sexual assault and sexual harassment allegations by the defendants and Funimation employees have seriously damaged Vic's career by inducing numerous conventions to cancel appearances, by inducing producers and directors to not consider or terminate him from projects. Jamie Markey, Monica Rial, myself, almost all other voice actors have hugged and kissed hundreds of fans at conventions, no matter their age. Hot meat kettle! I have approached Jamie Markey and Monica Rial to attempt a settlement between Vic and the defendants in early March 2019. Vic was not aware of my efforts. We know. I was initially supportive of what Jamie and Monica were doing because my understanding is that were with inflated versions of the story attempting to help the alleged underage victims of rape and sexual assault by Vic, which they, along with Michelle Speck, directly told me existed, they would have otherwise been too afraid to speak out. I never considered Jamie and Monica to be victims of attempted rape and sexual assault by Vic. So, Michelle Speck does play a big role in this. I thought she did, sly little bitch. Hey, Michelle Speck! You just got played. It's on, bitch. I drafted a proposed statement that Vic would include the phrase sex addict because my conversation with Jamie argued Monica convinced me that Vic would have to admit some form of guilt for them to settle. Vic never saw or approved the phrase. I am not educated about sexual addiction, nor am I an expert about sex addiction. I talked with Vic about sex addiction and advised him to speak with a counsellor about it. Now, I believe that his sexual activity and abilities are mostly associated with a common narcissism and ego from men from his position. I believe Vic is sincere in his efforts with his counsellor to correct the objective moral failings associated with his sexual behaviour. My statement efforts were an attempt to help my friend Vic, who was suffering tremendously, to protect Jamie and Monica from the difficulty of a lawsuit and to heal the anime community, which has been seriously divided by the allegations against Vic. During my settlement efforts, Todd Habercorn told me that Chris Sabat, Ron Toy, and Sean Semmel told him he was in danger and never working at Funimation again because Haber retained the same law firm as Vic. Cyber, are you a Yago now? Because I'm starting to believe that more now because of this. And see attached email. Ooh. I'm gonna read that. Yeah, but this is a court filing. This is why. This is a court filing that got dispatched like this morning. I also feared that my 20-year acting career at Funimation and my personal reputation would be damaged by retaliation for my association with Vic. I contacted Jen Fukunawa, the then CEO of Funimation, to discuss my concerns with Chris Sabat's gaslighting of Sean Semmel. Ooh, hello. Damaging his use of authority towards actors in his attempt to destroy my career in early March 2019, who met with me and advised that Vic would lose and would have to pay something that he learned about, something called an anti-slap motion. Shouldn't be staying legal talk, Chris. No good luck for you, jackass. Oh, no doubt. He also, in response to my specific concerns about Chris Sabat, He said that he had been friends with Chris Sabat for 17 years and he did not believe me. Jen, do you really want to be brought into this? Because you're gonna have to. This meeting occurred on March 5th, 2019 at 2:30 p.m. in Jen's office, approximately a month and a half prior to the Vic filing of the current pending lawsuit. I and my wife feared direct and planned specific retaliation from Chris Sabat and those loyal to him in response to this affidavit, and that will be damaging to my reputation and my career. I have known Vic for many years and do not believe he's ever sexually approached anyone past the point of him telling him no. I believe Vic utilized his position of privilege in shameful ways in attempts to obtain sex. In my experiences, Vic, if ever someone acted like they did not want to be hugged or kissed, he stopped immediately. To Funimation employees, including Jamie Markey, Monica Rial, and Michelle Specht, have advised me more than once since February 2019 that the criminal charges are coming against Vic. Seems like you're more involved in them all than that, you bitch. Love is scorned. In response, I encouraged them to help the alleged underage victims of rape and sexual assault to come forward. When asked to provide specifics to these allegations, they couldn't or refused to do so. When I was told about the contents of the confidential investigation undertaken by Tammy Dembo on behalf of Funimation, my opinion was that Funimation, Jamie Markey, Monica Rial, acted together and, with an encouragement for Chris Sabat and Sean Shelmer, destroyed Vic's career and life. This entire paragraph. I believe that the purported incidents investigated by Tammy Dembo occurred at off-Funimation property and not at Funimation events. The one incident that was purported occurred in Funimation property occurred prior to Sony's acquisition of Funimation. Thus, the no hugs policy from Sony was not in effect, i.e. there were no signs about the policy hung around the Funimation office. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I did not believe Vic kissed Sarah Bachmere without her consent. I believe I never heard rumors of Vic behaving sexually inappropriately at Funimation. Funimation has supported the accusations that are made by the defendants that Vic is a sexual predator, pedophile, and rapist for supporting the accusations directly with their own public statements. As a member of the public viewed tweets made on February 11, 2019 by Funimation as supporting the accusations against Vic and asserting Vic has fired for the sexual harassment and threats. It appears that Ronald Toye and Monica Rial and Jamie Markey have been speaking with Funimation's tactic and overt consent in tweets that have been made since 2019. Well, January 2019. Uh-oh. Thanks, Chuck. Thanks for all of that. And that is it for Chuck Hubers. We do have Erica's here. But of course, the one I was more interested in was the there's Oscar Ahmed. There's Christopher Slatosh. Well, we'll get on with those ones later on. The one that interested me the most was Chuck Huber's affidavit, because it was going to expose Funimation from the inside. And luckily it did. So I'm going to end the stream here, guys. I think I've been streaming for long enough. Pardon me. So I'll be passing on some information across to some other people. That won't take too long. Either way. So hope to see you guys in the next one. Do the email. I don't think the email was attached. It goes straight into Erica's affidavit. Yeah, I don't think the email was attached, unfortunately. Sorry. It's not my fault. It's Ty. Ty didn't attach it. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.